Hello and welcome to this video. 3 years ago I was traveling Spain with a van and I met a guy who was traveling Spain by hitchhiking, so I took him with me and we spent a few days together, and in the end I left him at the place where he wanted to work for a while, like volunteering. And this guy I met again in the Edificio where I was like 2 weeks ago, and we talked a bit about the old times and also about this place where he was working. And then we said goodbye. I continued my trip with Burro, and as always I was walking without a real plan around and in the direction of Portugal, and I came into an area which looked familiar for me, and then I arrived here, which is exactly the grain mill where I left the hitchhiker back in the days. And I came in, I said hello, and it were also the same people running this place, and they were friendly again and welcomed me to stay for a bit. And yeah, now I'm here. Burro, of course, is also with me. He has a lot of dry grass here, what you can eat, and I have electricity, so I used the opportunity now to cut the video, and you will see now the last 2 weeks of our hike, so enjoy the video. Leaving Beneficio was not so easy for me because of the wonderful people that I met there and that I spent my time there with. That's something that is not so natural, because in Beneficio many people are kind of crazy and fucked up, so I was lucky to have company by these wonderful human beings. So yeah, greetings to the Italian plateau at this point. And I came to a wonderful lake where I met a German couple and spent the evening with them. They were traveling with a van, and yeah, from there on I can say in general that I'm quite happy with the development of Burro and me, like of our relationship. It's going much better than before Beneficio. I think it was a really good thing to have some distance for both of us. There's still moments where he's stubborn, but I can handle it much better now. I'm more relaxed and I also feel less pressure inside of myself. So yeah, it's going pretty good. And also the thing with the water crossing, you remember that in the last video I told you that it's impossible for him to walk through little rivers, and I don't know why and I don't know how, but at this place suddenly this happened. We already settled and I unpacked all the stuff, and I was just thinking to explore the area and to go for a little walk, and I wanted to leave Burro behind, but then I thought like, we'll just not take him with me, and he was following me through this little river, and I think it is because it started very little, like very less water, and then he was already in it, and then it became more deep and more heavy water. So yeah, he understood, okay, there's no going back, and he got used to it. So I hope this will stay like this, and also in the future he will have less problems with river crossings. By the way, I'm doing this recording right now out of my hammock, and this hammock has a mosquito tent, and I'm super glad that it has one, because right now I can see 20 or 30 mosquitoes sitting on it. And last night I already got destroyed by them because I was sleeping without this mosquito net. And also you can maybe hear Burro eating some dry straw right next to me at the moment, and also a lot of frogs in the distance making noises. The landscape that we passed through in the last couple of days was quite diversified. So we had lots of little rivers and lakes, but also huge mountains and green fields and cornfields. that were partwise also used for farming and for agriculture. And also the kind of plants changed a lot. Here we had to cross a big pine forest, which took us about 2 days. And I liked it because I like pine trees and also the smell of them. But for Buro it was not so nice. First of all because pine trees are quite toxic and wherever they grow there's not much other stuff growing, so he had a hard time to find food. So yeah, I was happy when we finally left this forest, but also because of parasites that were living in this forest. You can see Buro trying to escape from little insects that are like ticks, so they soak his blood, but they also have wings, so they can fly, and first they all hide between his legs, and then when at the same time they all fly out and attack him, and he's super scared and they really drive him crazy. One time he ran away and ran to the street, and other people had to stop him because I wasn't that fast. And yeah, also lots of other animals and insects that you really have to be careful with. But yeah, anyways, we had a nice evening in the end because I got quite good to catch and kill these flying ticks, and I also have the feeling that it strengthened our relationship and trust. After the time in the forest, we came to the street that we were following for more than 20 kilometers. And in all this time, there was no car or almost no car passing by because there are only a few people living in this area. And yeah, so we had a quiet walk with a nice view, and then we came to this lake where I definitely wanted to spend the night because there's nothing better than waking up in the morning and taking a swim. Yeah, but normally I choose the place in a way that Buro finds enough food, but here the ground was mainly sandy and there was not much growing, so I collected lots of stuff for Buro. And also I realized that I don't have enough energy for the day if I only eat cookies and nuts and fruits that I find. So I started cooking in the evening, mostly lentils with anything, and since that, yeah, I feel more power and more energy. I can imagine that this must have been paradise for Buro. Total food abundance with the grain growing higher than himself. And also walking through these fields was quite a fun. And then we saw this lonely standing oak tree in the middle of these fields that I choose for a place to sleep. And it was a pretty nice experience to spend the night underneath a tent of branches and leaves, and also watching the sunset through these leaves was very beautiful. Only the aspect with the fire was a bit risky maybe. It's something that I have to be careful with in general because this area here is super dry, and yeah, if there is a little fire it can spread pretty fast. And yeah, from this point it were only 2 more days of walking until I arrived at this mill where I'm staying at the moment, and where I was learning a bit about permaculture and helping a bit with the gardening, which was also a very interesting and informative experience. So this is what happened in the last about 2 weeks. The plan now is to continue walking in the direction of Portugal, But first, a friend of me wants to visit me, and he will come near to Malaga because he's doing kind of a documentary at the moment about donkeys and about agriculture and the relationship between human and animals today and in the past. So yeah, he will do some short shots with me. I don't know what is his plan at the moment, but yeah, I'm looking forward for it. And yeah, this is what you will what you will see in the next video. Bye bye.